Yesterday, Coach Matt Nagy once again asked to clarify his position on the team's quarterback situation and instead made it even less clear.
We'll have to be prepared when we find out exactly what's going on with Andy is understand, okay, is he able to go? And for us, you got a guy that's been in the league playing quarterback for a long time, and you got a guy that's never had an NFL start. So we'll have to work through that, which we will.
If Andy's healthy, is he your starter?
If Andy is healthy, is he your starter? That's something that I'm not going to get into with scheme.
That's not scheme.
Of course it is. That's 100% scheme, Brad.
Actually, no, it's not at all. And then, so he said that, and then he left, and then a few minutes later, our Jeff Dickerson, who covers the Bears for us, reported that a Bears media relations person delivered a message from Nagy. Again, this is after the press conference, to clarify that Andy Dalton is the starter if he is healthy. So what the actual heck is going on here? Let me bring Dan Graziano in here as a veteran of many of these press conferences.
Right.
How do you explain this?
Yeah, I don't break down game film, but I've been to some press conferences. What happens is, look, Nagy comes out and he's asked this question and he answers it. And he has a little fun with Brad Biggs, the reporter, but obviously, you know, he doesn't want to tell him anything. So what happens is he leaves the press conference and the PR guy, it's his job to say, hey, Matt, this is what you said. Here's how it's being presented. Here's what they're tweeting about. Here's what they're going to talk about on the shows. And Nagy goes, well, that's not what I meant. Get back in there and tell them what I really meant. So that's what happened there yesterday.
So one way or another, the sum total of it, Marcus, seems to be that he is going back to Andy Dalton as the starter if he is healthy, when it felt like the football gods, and again, you never want to see anybody get hurt, but the football gods had given him the ideal opportunity to make a switch to Justin Fields without any hurt feelings or anything like that. What is your reaction, Swagoo?
Well, first of all, I'm glad Graz explained that, because I was like, who from upper management told him, hey, go clear this up?
For you.
Go make sure this is cleared up. But Graz is our guy. He clears things up. Here's the deal with what Matt Nagy is doing. And I'm so tired of having a visceral reaction to this, because he obviously wants Andy Dalton to be the guy to start. And I don't know if only thing I keep coming back to, fellas, is something that Justin Fields is doing is telling Matt Nagy he's not ready? Is it something that he or Matt Nagy doesn't understand about Justin Fields' skill set that's telling him he's not ready to play? Because we all watching this. We are all watching Justin Fields play. And yeah, I know he threw interceptions, but when you are preparing for a week, you are not preparing for that particular quarterback, calling plays for that particular quarterback. That was a tough situation for Justin Fields to come in and do. And even in that, we saw the juice and energy from this offense. So I don't know what promises were made. I don't know what type of relationship Matt Nagy has with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, literally, we don't know if he's healthy, and the man won't even name Justin Fields the starter for this week, or at least say we preparing Justin to get ready to start the game. I have no idea, outside of the fact that Justin Fields should be playing for the Chicago Bears. I ain't getting off that, but it's something or some kind of relationship they form to keep Andy Dalton in there as the starter.
Yeah, this is insanity. Like, I mean, when you think about, people say, well, we'll start him in the 6th game or the 4th game or whatever game when everybody gives their genius ideas of when you should start a rookie quarterback. He's not getting better watching. Like what you saw when he walked in the game after Andy Dalton got hurt, that's what you'll see again, because he's not preparing. He's not taking all 54 snaps of offensive play calling during the week. He's not taking all those things to red zone. He's not taking short yardage goal line, right? So you throw him in a game and expect him to do these things, and you're not going to get a different result. Like, he has to be the guy that's getting the practice reps. That was my whole point. Like, everybody acts like you should bubble wrap, Justin Fields. Well, you're not doing that to Trevor Lawrence. You're not doing it to Zach Wilson. You're not, so as you're having these conversations, I don't understand the process of what you're saying to Justin Fields by going, yeah, we've taken 80% Andy Dalton over 100% you. By the way, we drafted you move up because we thought you would be better for our offense. At some point, you got to let him be your guy and understand the situation is right. Let it happen.
Beyond the mechanics of the press conference, I mean, what are people saying about this? Every former player I know is perplexed by this.
So inside the building, what they're saying is they have a plan for Justin Fields. They have since they drafted him. Matt Nagy wants to see something he hasn't seen, or wants to get to some sort of milepost that he hasn't got to yet before he decides that Justin Fields is ready, and that's what it is. So,
Marcus, did we just lose Marcus? Are you all right?
Dude, I just like this situation has made me feel helpless. I've never felt helpless on TV before, but I feel helpless, man.
Painful, man.
Nothing about what I know about football is in correlation with this particular situation. Yep. Like nothing, literally nothing. And maybe it is the former player and me and Jeff and all of the guys that's talking about this situation, because we are more about what we see. When I saw Tony Romo practicing and killing our number one defense in Dallas in scout team and in practice, we was like, he better than Drew Bledsoe. And then Parcells played him because he was better. Like, I don't understand it, man. I can't.
Romo was an undrafted kid coming out of college. Drew Bledsoe was the number one pick in the draft. Bill Parcells made that decision. This is the reverse situation, and they just are unwilling to do it. In the meantime, an entirely different quarterback situation in Pittsburgh, where the offensive line for the Steelers is a significant problem trying to protect the 39-year-old Ben Roethlisberger. This year, Big Ben has taken 15 hits inside the pocket through 2 games. That's the 4th most of any quarterback this year, and they're forcing Roethlisberger to change his entire approach. His average time of 2.3 seconds before throwing the ball is the quickest among all quarterbacks since last year. Sunday was the epitome of it all. Big Ben hit 10 times by the Raiders pass rush, in which they did not attempt a single blitz. Ryan Clark yesterday here on Get Up.
Ben Roethlisberger is in a position where he's going to stand in the pocket because he understands that he needs to win now. But that may be to his detriment because he won't make it 17 games this week.
As he was saying that, Jeff, you were nodding along.
100%.
You agree with that?
100%. Listen, man, you can't have the shortest time of the ball coming out of your hands and still get hit 15 times, 4th most in the league. Like, that just doesn't compute. And when you look at their rushing attack, they were last in the league last season. They're last in the league through two weeks of this season. Like, there's not a lot of good signs, trending towards Roethlisberger making it through the season. I mean, he is taking shots. And listen, Crosby flat out got after him, and I get he's a good pass rusher and all those things. You can't do any more than the Steelers are doing to protect Big Ben. He can't protect himself when everybody's just getting through the offense. Get through the offense.